Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those here for the first time, welcome. I hope that you will enjoy my new, what will be a series of sculpting videos introducing my new vinyl kit baby. She will be a newborn. I will be having a contest in the end to name her. So I hope that you guys will all participate, and the winner of the contest will actually receive the #1 numbered edition. So that's pretty exciting. This new contest is going to be to win a newborn knit set and also my adorable 12-inch mini baby. And you will be able to see the photo in this video. Now, to win that set, those two things, you have to answer 2 questions. And basically, you will have to refer to the Oprah video. And the question number 1 is, what state was I in when I got the call about being on the Oprah Winfrey Show? The second question will be in reference to the Demi Moore video. And that question is, what was the name of my first doll dealer shop? Okay, so good luck you guys, do your homework, and look forward to reading your responses, okay? Great. Okay guys, so this is the early stages of my sculpting process, and it's a matter of building, adding layer upon layer. You can see my trusty tool, TT, sitting there waiting for her time to play. But right now, I'm just adding clay. Just putting the clay roughly. Everything's really rough right now, so I'm not really concerned about getting anything perfect. This head is going to go through a whole metamorphosis, and at points, it's going to look kind of crazy. But bear with me, it's all going to make sense. So just building clay up around the nose bridge area, get that volume, and again, not using TT yet. Not yet. Everything is just really, my hands, my fingers are just sort of creating volume. Yeah, sculpting is a really a relaxing time for me. I can spend hours on end doing it, and I have literally welcomed in a new day. Getting caught up, it just takes me to a different place. So we're just adding. I'm always checking both sides. This would be a good time for me to tell you a little bit more. Well, tell you about my childhood. As many of you know, I was born and raised in Nassau, Bahamas, and one of 7 children raised by a single mother who was always really hardworking and just really impressive. I learned everything that I am today from my mother. And it was just an interesting childhood. We didn't have a normal life. Like me and my siblings, we weren't allowed to run around and play with a bunch of friends. We were always working. Always a huge work ethic she put in me as a child. And I attribute that to where I am in life today. When I went to elementary school, interesting story, when I went to elementary school, my I was actually quite a whiz back in the day, and I remember in school we had there was a parent-teacher conference, and when the teacher came in, when my mother sat down to talk to her, she wanted to make a note of saying that I just rushed too much with my schoolwork, and my mother quickly came back and said to her, "Well, is she getting everything right?" And the teacher sluggishly said, "Well, yeah." Well, my mother said, "Well, we don't have a problem then." I tell that story to say I did not know at the time that my own mother, as a child, had the same problem. In elementary school, I literally went from third grade to sixth grade within a year. What was that about? Yeah, the teachers just thought I was just way too much and just kept pushing me forward. Well, the same thing happened to my mother in her childhood. And so much so, when my mother was 12 years old, she literally finished her schooling and was teaching kids that were older than her, was teaching them. So no wonder she was so chill when the teacher said I need to slow down. So we both excelled at school at extremely young ages. At 15, I actually graduated high school, and at 16, I went to college. So that was pretty cool, though, that both me and my mom finished school at such early ages. She just is amazing, and like I said, she embodies what I want to be professionally. Everything. It's just wonderful. Okay. So now I'm building a chin. Building. Sometimes when I start sculpting, I have one thing in mind. Of course, something else happens. For example, size. It's sort of commonly known that I'm not one to really make small babies. My intentions sometimes start out that I want to make a small baby, but then the head keeps growing and the preemie turns into a 3-month-old. So I'm trying to keep the size of this one under control. She will be a newborn size, so that means she should be about 20. I'm hoping it's going to be about 20 inches. Little chunky limbs and everything. So let's see if we can keep it under control. But we're just adding clay. Another interesting thing when I'm working, when I set the eyes, I'm not concerned about if the eyes are evenly lined up. It doesn't matter in this particular sculpt. If you ever get an angle, look right angle, you will see that one pupil is up and the other pupil is down, and I don't care about that. I'm not concerned about that. Basically, the eyeballs are just basically a place setting. Okay. Another thing that I do in my process, I'm constantly taking photos. In sculpting a head, I could take up to 50 photos. That's my way of checking my symmetry. And so just different angles, even in the beginning stages. I probably have at this point 14,000 photos in my phone, but it's a great catalog of exactly what I'm doing and the progress, and I can look from beginning to end to see the changes that I've made. And oh well, I guess it's safe to say no one can ever accuse me of stealing anybody's sculpt. So, but it's good to see that process captured. So, okay, TT's getting to work, getting in there. My trusty sculpting fingers, and with TT, we're teaming up, and we are pressing and pushing and really just adding. There's TT going to work. Yeah. Of course, you must forgive the clay. When you sculpt in the Super Sculptor, after a while, it tends to get pretty muddy. So you're gonna see some discoloration in the clay. It's not a big deal. It's just part of the process. Okay, so here I'm starting to build the little fat pads under the eyes. And this is one of the key parts in making that baby really newborn looking, little puffy eyes. Just moving that. Gotta get in there, get some definition. Remember, this baby is gonna go through all kinds of changes. So what I have in mind originally is never what I end up with. So I just sort of go with the flow. And after a while, I just become a vessel. You just do what you want to do, hands. Do what you want to do. So, TT working. Right now, I'm loosely working with a photo just as a reference. It's different when I'm using a photo as sort of an inspiration, but not going for a portrait in any way. Just a photo reference. And it's in those cases that anything can happen. I will veer off from that photo. Just moving the clay around. Yes. I don't even know what it would be like to even try sculpting on a dowel of some sort. I can't even imagine not holding the head in my hands. Actually, I did try it once. Did I say once? Yeah. It did not feel right. So I just hold them. No matter how big they are, I just hold them. It's the way I taught myself to do it. So. Alrighty. Okay, now we're building up around the nose. Getting in those corners. Those corners. That newborn fat pads under the eyes. It's just constant movement. Sometimes my hands are just all over the place. All over the place. Okay. Still trying to find where we're going to end up with this little nugget. There is no telling. But building the basis of a baby. Now I'm starting to create that little double chin area. Yep. More chin, please. Nothing cuter than the double chin on a baby. Love it. Okay. Here I'm building volume. Get the roundness of that baby's face. Nice chubby cheeks. Looks like my hands are just all over the place. Sort of neurotic. Okay, we're building below the nose and the mouth. Create that volume, that round volume underneath the nose and the mouth. That's so key. That's so key there. This area to create that cylindrical effect. fullness underneath the bottom lip, both sides, right below the lip, right in the corners of the mouth, the bottom lip. And that starts to create the formation of the chin. Lip. Remember guys, this baby is gonna go through changes, so prepare yourself. I think I know what I'm doing, but then I don't, so we just roll with it. Right now this face is just trying to find its character. She's looking cute so far. I'm saying she, could be a he. It's my new vinyl newborn, so she can be a boy or girl, but I'm saying she. Getting in there, TT getting in there, creating the nostrils. Recently, I was sculpting, getting ready to sculpt for my show in June of this year, my online show. I created three or four dolls for that show. And guys, I was working non-stop. I literally sculpted the skin off of my thumb. Like, the skin started peeling away. I'd never done that before. But when I'm under the gun to get a lot of work done, I can push myself to the max like that. And that's definitely the most maximum damage that I've done to my thumb in all these years. I literally peeled the skin off it to the point where it was red, and I had to put medicine on it, but I had to keep going because a deadline is a deadline. But my dedication to the art, So yep, here we are. We're now adding the bulk, fullness to the other side of the face to match what I did on the other side. Fortunately, this time the clay is really soft, so my fingers appreciate it. The other clay that I had before, it was a bit on the hard side, and I tried to find the Super Sculpty clay softener and could not find it anywhere, so I had to push through it. It was what it was. Pain or no pain, I had to get her done. But this clay is nice and buttery. I love it. Thank you, clay. Appreciate that. So, just kind of squishing things around there. Kind of squishing around. Nothing really definitive yet. So she's gonna have the little chunky arms and legs. And really expressive hands. I'm really looking forward to sculpting her limbs, and you guys get to watch watch me do those limbs. And the hands, deciding on what position the fingers are going to be in. Because I think hands are so important and really so difficult to do. I actually gauge the skills of a sculptor by how well they can create the arms and legs. It's just so key, so important to the whole look. There was a time when I didn't have that kind of love for it, but I respect limbs, and they're so much a part of what the complete sculpt is. So I give them all the love I can get. Continuing to build, form the nose there. Still no complete definition, because this baby is gonna be in for a metamorphosis. Yes. Yeah, those eyes are looking all crazy in there, but don't matter. Like I said, they were just place setters. Just place setters. Now, if it was a one of a kind, well, yes, the eyes have to be set perfectly, but it doesn't matter when you're sculpting something for production. It does not matter. Okay. He's starting to have some kind of form, looking kind of human. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.